Man, you shouldn't go to competitions. That stuff's going to get you killed in the street. All joking aside, so realistically, pistol shooters, rifle shooters, if you enjoy shooting, there's realistically two ways to get good. Take a class from whatever your preferred instructor is, or go to competitions. I would recommend both. But just for scientific reasons, let's break down some numbers and see what type of squeeze you can get out of your dollar. Inflation is going through the roof right now. Ammo is 3 times what it used to be. Things ain't getting cheaper, so cost savings, it's very important. So also, I'd love to hear from you. Like, put in the comments how much gains you've gotten from shooting competitions versus taking classes. Easy enough. The math is pretty easy here. So say you want to go take a 1-day class from a local training facility. You're realistically going to get some generic curriculum, USCCA, NRA, or whatever they dream up. How to draw from the holster could be like a 4 or 5 step process. You run a chance of getting an antiquated curriculum, but it's a class. It's 1 day. It's local, so we'll go for that. So $250. We'll say $250. I've seen them as low as $200. We'll go, because we're saving money. $200, and this is money. Okay, that's 1 day. A local competition, 1 day. I've seen them as low as $20, as high as $30. We'll meet in the middle, $25. Okay. Now this is going to be 8 hours of your day, and about, let's see, how many rounds? We'll go with rounds needed. That's a U. I know how to spell. Just kind of. If we're on the cost saving side and we're trying to be economical about this, 300 rounds. My classes, I stay within 300 rounds per day. I believe more in training and coaching than shooting, because bad repetitions are bad, obviously. At a 1-day competition, even with a reshoot, you're looking at 150 rounds. Okay. Well, let's say availability. Whether or not you have to travel, you can probably find a competition within, let's say, 1.5 hours. We'll talk about hours here, time. Okay. And a decent class, unless you live near a common one, it's probably a little harder to source a good class within an hour and a half. So I'm going to guesstimate it. Let's say you have to travel 2.5 hours. All right, so imagine, whatever your gas mileage is for that. For me, that would be, let's see, 150 miles at 15 miles, so it's 10 gallons, that's $30. Okay, so that's an extra $30. 300, so it's, let's see, $30 for that. $20 for this ish. So 30 cents a round is what we're coming up with these days. So that's $100 for ammo, and 50 here for ammo, and that's if you don't reload. Because if you're getting started in this and you're trying to figure out the best way to get good fast, you're probably not reloading. And then obviously you got your money over here. So if we just talk about travel time, rounds, and entry fee, just those things, a class, 1-day class, is going to cost you $330. Okay, $330. Whereas you're in this for $100. Yeah, 95, $100. Realistic, just under a third, so 30-ish% of a class you can go to a competition. But what are you going to get out of that? Okay, so remember these numbers. Let's put those up here actually. 330. God, I got terrible handwriting. And then 100. Okay, $100 total cost. What do you get for that actual dollar amount? That's a great question. Glad you asked. All right. So say you get lucky and you get to your training facility and you get a squared away instructor that is they know how to teach. They don't know just how to facilitate a class or guide you through some practice drills, but they actually can diagnose some inefficiencies with whether your draw, your movements, your reloads, you name it. Like they can actually diagnose some things, so they can coach you. We're being hopeful here because we all know there's plenty of people out there that are just facilitating a class with some drills, and you're learning stuff. Don't get me wrong, but you're not getting any feedback, like critical feedback that you can and work on and become better. That's the whole purpose of this. So we're being optimistic here. What are you going to get? You're going to get 8 hours of being there, which is realistically about 6 hours of instruction. All right, and then within that, you're probably going to shoot, like I said, about 300 rounds. So you're going to get in, let's say, if you're working from the holster, which you should be. Again, we're being optimistic. We'll get 25 draws. And hopefully, we're going to fix that draw. We're going to get a good draw out of this. And then you might get, let's say, within those 300 rounds, you might be able to perform 5 drills 2 times, so 10 total drills, so 10 drill reps. All right. And each one of those drill reps, let's take a bill drill. All right. So a good bill drill is done, I would think, in the 2 to 3 second range. If you're doing it under 2 seconds, you're probably not trying to figure out how to become better. But if you're over 2, you are. All right. So let's say 3 seconds per that. So you're looking at 30 seconds, all right, of actual shooting through drills. All right. This isn't including your draw reps and things like this. This is actual trigger press, sight picture, sight movies, things like that. So 30 seconds of actual shooting. All right. And then let's add in a few minutes of other drills and exercises. So realistically, 5 total minutes of shooting. That sounds about right. For the classes I've been in, like there's from the time you pull the gun out of the holster and put it back in, all of those times added together, realistically, it's only about 5 total minutes of shooting and feedback with a good, deliberate coaching instructor. Goodness gracious. All right, let's say you go to the competition. On the low side, you're going to have 5 stages. So let's say 5 stages. Usually a good match is going to last you, let's see, I usually get there to help set up around 6:30. So even if you don't help set up and the match starts at 9 and ends at 1, that's 4 hours. So 4 hours. Let's see, you're going to get in, you'll go to the safety table and do a couple draws. We're not going to count those, but actual shooting, 5 total draws. And each stage, we'll say they'll average out at 10 seconds each. So that's 50 seconds of shooting. Now, cool thing about going to a competition is at a class, you got 1, sometimes 2 really great instructors that are squared away. They know their stuff, right? You go to a good level competition, local competition that has, say, 40 shooters show up, you're going to have a few grandmasters, few masters, and some A-class guys. So you're going to be surrounded by some dudes that really know what they're doing. Like they have perfected their craft of pistol shooting. So you get the exposure of all those people, and I guarantee you a lot of them are going to help you. If you ask, hey, I'm trying to get good at this, will you give me some tips, tricks, and techniques to follow, and then record me? So you'll get the recording of each stage, so you can go back and coach yourself through videos. There's a lot of squeeze out of that. All right, so only 50 seconds worth of shooting. All right, we would have to double that in time, so you would get 2 competitions to get this. So $200 to get this at a comp. Now, you're not going to get grade A coaching that you would in a good class, but you're going to get the time behind the trigger or behind the gun. You're going to get the draws. You're going to get stage work. So it's going to be stage planning, execution, footwork, all that good stuff. You're going to be exposed to some seriously high level shooters, so on and so forth. Now, I'm not here to tell you which one's better. Again, I said that. I prefer you to do both. If you're low on money and you want to get good at shooting, dry fire and hitting up some local matches is absolutely going to be your tickets. All right. If you got some money and the time, hit up some classes. You can double this cost for a 2-day class. Generally speaking, a lot of times it's going to be even more. Your higher level classes, they're going to be 500 plus for 2 days, and then when you count in ammo, travel, hotel, food, and all that jazz, I mean, it's a cool grand for a weekend deal at a big high level 2 class. But it's totally up to you what you get out of it. Here's something that me and a group of guys have done recently. Scheduled a yearly class where we all attend. So it's just us, like it's just 15 of us that know each other. We have already built that friendship, that brotherhood, and we're taking a class from an instructor we choose at a location we choose with an Airbnb we choose. We're all staying together. So a 2-day class for us, man, we're getting a lot out of it. We are really maximizing our return on that. If you have that ability, I would highly recommend that. Like that's the best case scenario of a 2-day class. $1,000 that I'm going to spend, for example, with Tim Herron in February, North Alabama. Of course, this is all closed off. It's not available to anyone else. Anyway, that's going to be a heck of an experience, and it's worth every penny. I would choose that over shooting a level 2 or level 3 match, an area or national level match, so on and so forth, just because of the camaraderie I get out of it. And then I get to pick who I learn from. Tim Herron's going to be there. Assistant instructor, him is going to be Raleigh Bowman and AJ Zito, which if you don't know who those guys are, look them up. Excellent instructors, great information, wealth of knowledge. Those are your best case scenario instructors. And there's many more, don't get me wrong. But I just want to break down the numbers for you. Get some gears turning in your head. I'm a really fidgety person. Like I just always have to be doing something. So I know in my videos I'm always making sounds and things. Terribly sorry. It is what it is. Get over it. Do the math for yourself. Look up on practice scores some local matches to you, and then seek out a local training facility and look at their instructors and course schedules, curriculum, and pricing, and do some math. Squeeze out everything you can out of every dollar that you're spending, because man, times are tough. I'm right there with you. I'm having to put out just as much money in ammo as everybody else. I don't have no ammo sponsorship yet. Hopefully, right? Maybe one day. So take these numbers. Don't take them as exact numbers. I was just throwing out general numbers to get the gears turning in your head. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences with classes and competitions, how you've succeeded with them individually without each other or in unison. And that information is going to be very helpful to everybody else reading it. So chime in, let us know. 2 last things. I came up with a cool exit saying. Outro, exit saying, sign off. That's it. Sign off saying. All right, so got some merch on the website. If you like hoodies, it's getting cold out there. Got the Synergy hoodie. I got them in dark gray like this, black, and OD green. So, man, they're super soft on the inside. It's like bunny rabbit fur on the inside. It's pretty awesome. Super soft. I got some shirts. I got a newly designed shirt on there. I say shirts. There's actually only one. And then there's a polo. So get those. Spoiler alert, we're actually going to be changing our name and logo at the beginning of the year. It's still going to be Synergy, but it's going to be a little different. So if you want this legacy style stuff, you got until the end of the year, probably through January to get it. All right, now for the cool sign off. Let me know how y'all think about this. I gotta get my face ready for it. All right. Oh goodness, you can be an asset or a liability. The choice is yours. We had a principle back when I was younger, and it said, "Make a great day or not. The choice is yours." And so, yeah, you can be an asset or a liability. The choice is yours. See y'all.